Sorry that it's been a while, but I have gone ahead and designed the brackets that I'm going to use to mount even more threaded onto this printer in order to stabilize the z-axis towers as they are currently wobbling whenever the x-axis accelerates. And so these are the bottom pieces. This one goes like this. So this one goes on the right side if you're looking at the printer, and this one goes on the left side. Somehow like this. So those are going to go on the bottom front, right behind the two blocks of the corner pieces, and these are going to go at the top of the towers themselves, and they're going to go like this. So this is the left piece. These two holes are for the threaded rods that actually make up the frame part of the z-axis towers, and then the hole here is going to, I'm going to have a rod go between bridge two axis towers, and then this angled hole is going to line up with this other hole from this thing. What am I even saying anymore? But hopefully it stabilizes the frame, because currently I'm using string and it looks pretty janky. And this is what I'm talking about when I say janky string. So I tried stabilizing the Z towers by tying it together with string, which, as you can see, is not under very much tension. It is only twine. Then I tried reinforcing it from the sides and the back, which also didn't work out. As you can also see here, I'm trying to pull the y-axis motor this way more, because when you tighten the belt, it's the bracket I'm using right here, the connection with the bolts isn't secure enough. I guess I should have used washers there to have more surface area, but it's not strong enough to keep the motor perpendicular to the frame, and so that's why. I just wanted to show you this before I cut it all up. Trying to remove the x-axis because I cannot separate the printer from the box without removing this hot end assembly, and in order to do that I need to remove the x-axis. Well, now that I've gotten the printer separated from the box, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to attach those pieces. So here it is with the new braces, although that top bar sticks out quite a lot. It's going to get cut right about there tomorrow. And now I need to figure out what the correct distance is for the distance between the top of these. And the way I'm going to do that is by leaving this loose. As you can see, these aren't all the way screwed down quite yet. I'm going to put the x-axis back on, make sure everything lines up and moves smoothly, and then I'm going to tighten everything up. I also did not add the other nuts on the inside right here and right here for that same reason, that I'm going to finalize the positioning later. Essentially what I'm going to do here is replace all the original black pieces that remain from when I first unveiled the printer, and now they're going to be going away. So the first step I'm going to do is disassemble this frame by taking these two sides off this way, and I'll be replacing these, blocks, and that will allow me to get inside to these smooth rod holders. It has been quite a while since I last filmed the previous clip, and in between then and now, I've decided to go ahead and redesign and reprint a few parts of the frame. I've redone the corner blocks, as well as before you heard me mentioning that black piece that was holding the Y motor on was flexing due to the tightening of the belt, and so I reprinted that piece as well. Hopefully it doesn't bend, and instead of PETG I used PLA this time, so it'll be a bit more rigid. I'm also replacing the smooth rod holders with something that'll be a little more easier to assemble. So instead of having to slip these on from the sides like this and then sliding this whole thing onto the frame this way, I can just slide these onto the frame individually, and then the cutout on the top allows me to slide the smooth rod onto it, and then I'll just need to zip tie it down. I've also discovered that the nozzle isn't quite aligning with the bed, and so I printed out these spacers to offset for that, and those are going to go right in between the front end of the brace and these corner blocks. I'll show you what I mean. Apparently my camera died while I was time-lapsing me building this, and so I have the beginning of it and not me finished. So here it is. And you might be saying, it looks quite similar to how you had it before. What's different? Well, none of it is original anymore. Not even this little sliding mechanism in order to tension the belt. That was the one original piece that left, and while trying to remove it so I could insert the belt for the bed, it broke. So I resorted to reprinting it. Now none of it is original. So the question is, what am I going to do moving forward? Well, now that I have it like this, I am going to be designing some mounts for the electronics, specifically the power supply and the ramps 1.4 Arduino Mega combo. So the boards are gonna sit right here, which is gonna be under the bed, which is going to move along here and here on these two rails. And I'm going to hang the power supply off of this, and I'm going to put a switch onto it. The power switch you saw on, well, I guess you never saw it. It was on the side of the box. I show you, it was there. In fact, here it is. all its glory. So as I said, I discovered earlier that this power supply has mounting holes here, here, as well as on this side, but that doesn't matter for what I'm going to be doing. So this side is going to be facing away or towards where I'm going to mount it. So it's going to be end up being put right there. And I'm going to have to run the wires down under here and to the board. And I ran into an issue with the ramps connecting to that power supply. And the problem was that this connector, this connector is famous for its ability to melt when not used properly, and that is what happened to me. That hole right there was not originally there. It melted because one of the wires popped loose and it was bad. So I removed that. And what was left is the board with the pins intact, and I'm just going to directly solder the wires onto these pins and then use heat shrink tubing to insulate it, and that should be good to go. So like I said, this is going to mount somewhere around this general area. The reason I picked this side and not this side is because this side, not only does it have the end stop in the way, but as looking down from the top of the board, you can see that these pins are on the top left, and so I wanted that to be easily accessible. If I routed the wires out of here and to the power supply, it's going to be hanging here. I also mounted it here because these pins in the front, right here, come on, I can't tell how well you can see those, but those are what connect to the LCD screen, and I want to mount that right in front of here, where my hand is. So that's where I'll be going with this. Also, I have no clue what else to say. Goodbye.